An Evening at the Movies is a proud member of the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network. Other shows in the network include Mass Debaters, The Sip List, Crushgasm, Love is Black, Men Are the Prize, Crime Rewind, and Literature Reapers. You can find out all about our shows and more at IDNMTRpodcastnetwork.com. Happy listening. You are now entering the world of a movie review. A world full of drama, joy, ridicule, movie spoilers, unpopular opinions, and adult humor for as far as the eye can see. Welcome to An Evening at the Movies.
Hi, people. It is not our usual movie Sunday, but we're going to be live anyway because that's what we do. And when it's live, that's when we are at our best.
Are we live?
Yes, we're live.
I don't see it on the Book of Faces.
I just edited the privacy settings.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I don't need to share our stuff.
Right.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, it wasn't.
So, for those of you who don't know, Evening at the Movies, the movie-based podcast where we eat the stale popcorn, we drink the watered-down sodas, and sometimes when Harvey gets the wild hair up his ass, he makes us actually legitimately drink the watered-down sodas and the stale popcorn. But that's been a while. But we talk about all of our favorite movies and why we love them. And, well, before I say who else is with us, everybody say hi to the one with the fucked up stomach.
So fancy. I guess she made a debut too. She's like,
yes. Sorry I was late. I had to have my French Bernays fetched from the vault. I am in full ball gown attire. This will actually be a sort of bridesmaid's dress in a couple of weeks. So, yes, all black. So, I am here with my jewels. I'm fancy.
Very fancy.
Like Applebee's on date night.
Jesus fix it.
I told you I'm going to start dressing up for every episode that I can.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that because most of the stuff you tell me goes in one ear and out the other.
Oh, I know. Nobody listens when I talk. To be fair, what took me so long was I got stuck in the first dress I put on.
Zipper.
I thought I wasn't going to be able to get out of it. I couldn't because it was zipped up all the way. Listen here, Kasey, don't laugh. Those of us that have boobs understand the struggle. If no one's here to zip it for you, you got to put it on zipped. If I put it on zipped, it won't get over the girls. And so I got it halfway stuck between over my boobs and not, and I couldn't get it off. I had a little panic attack.
And for many addresses in Forever 21.
Yes.
And I'm just like, just put it back. Go.
Without ripping it.
No, I won't rip it.
Yeah.
But first, I didn't wear a lot of dresses growing up. So I thought, those things where you hang it on the hanger, those little plastic, I thought that was a sleeve or whatever. So I'd ripped so many of those when I started trying on dresses. It's like, what?
What are you going to do? The struggle with boobs is real. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be over 400 pounds. I know all about having moobs.
But you didn't wear dresses.
Yeah, not the same thing.
T-shirt.
Have you ever
never
tried
once
to put
worn
something long on over your head and hope it goes over your boobs because you can't step into it and then zip it up in your back? No.
At the dress shop, we have to always go over the head so they're not stepping on the dresses, ripping them, and I had a girl with really, really long braids down to her butt, and I was like, we are stepping in and out because I ain't getting this over, and then pulling it was a heavy amount of braids out, and I was like, nah, we're risking the dress today.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who have not, and you might be new to the show and couldn't tell from the extra voice in the background, we are here today because, well, today is the pre-eve of her birthday, but the episode will release on her birthday. But we are joined by Network Mate, I'll let her go down her resume of everything that she does because the list is long and distinguished, and if I try,
Uh-huh.
I'll forget something. So
Hot over there?
Yeah. Heat rises. Whew.
That it
su-
does.
summer has come to the East Coast. So,
Midwest.
but welcome back, Kendra.
Thank you for having me. My cake, I'm making it downstairs right now. It is cooling. I'm very excited. Thank you for having me. Do you want me to talk about my stuff now?
Well, you can do it now. You can do it now at the end. It's
Um,
all good.
I'm the host of Crushgasm, a podcast where guests come through and they talk about a crush they've had in their life, or maybe we crush on a thing. You can crush on anything. And you can go to KendraWriteStuff.com because I write a lot of things for a site called Yardbarker. I'm working on celebrities who are only children, so they are the only ones in their family. Instead of having a Kardashian or an Olsen, you just have one. Daniel Radcliffe is one. Missy Elliott is one. So doing that, and then I'm going to start writing for a food website, and hopefully that goes really well. I'm on the trial run right now, so I haven't done anything yet. I have to work.
That's amazing, though.
So, how do you have time to have a full-time job on top of all of that stuff as well?
You just do. You can write at any time. Well, I
Sure.
mean, in LA, there was a time where I had like 10 different websites I wrote for, but
Wow.
taking public transit is a lot of free time.
That's true.
Now I don't. Now I just do it mostly on my lunch or late at night. So.
Kendra, we're gonna need a Dr. Robbie Crush podcast stat.
Oh, we should do just about the pit.
Yeah.
Just to celebrate the greatest show of 2025.
Yes.
I'll work on it.
Well, it's not like there's a whole hell of a lot of competition for greatest show of 2025.
Yeah. Severance had a second season and it was pretty lit. But
Nothing.
I haven't seen the first season.
And The Last of Us just dropped a new season, so I don't watch that, but I haven't heard if it's good or not. But
I mean,
Just
this
one
last episode was. It's the one you want if you play the game. It's the one you don't want if you have no idea what's coming in the game.
I do not know there was a game. Did not know. So
my husband really likes the video game. So like he played that all the way through and I'm like, so what's going to happen next? Like I'm a half-ass watcher. I'm usually on my phone. I know what's going on, but do I care? Sometimes.
Hi, Griffey.
Well, you know, Shanna cares because it's Pedro, but
Well,
Well,
Shanna has an
spoiler.
unhealthy obsession with Pedro.
you need to get ER watched so that we can progress from Dr. Carter to Dr. Robbie because chef's kiss.
I do need to start that. I'm watching the Connors right now because it is ending. I think this week or last week it's ending. So I am trying to like binge the like 6 episodes.
Is it good? Because I just haven't. I don't know.
I actually really like the Connors. I think it's not like groundbreaking TV. It's not Roseanne, but Roseanne was the only worst part about when it came back.
Right. Yeah.
And snap back into character. So I'm glad she died on it. Spoiler. It's fine. I think putting Darlene as like the matriarch was like she's my favorite character, so I like that. And Aunt Jackie is just like perfect.
Yeah.
Even if you hate the show, if you don't think it's good, and you can't deny Aunt Jackie is like perfect in it.
She's amazing.
But yeah.
Hi, Griffey. There's a puppy on the TV.
Say hi.
Anyway.
I went to the groomers today and got my hair cut. Ow, jerk!
Did they give you a treat on your way out, Kasey? And if you're gonna do Griffey's voice, you gotta at least change it a little bit.
Yeah, all the animals need.
Yeah.
We went to our couple meetup and they were like, "Oh, we have a cat," and I was like, "Oh, we have a dog," and they're like, "Does your dog have a voice?" And I was like, "Of course."
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Our cat too."
I'm Griffey.
Yeah.
Woo! I got groomed today. Woo!
Like, what's
He
his?
seems like a woo dog.
Like, yeah. Look at them. Our dog is like bougie and calls us peasants. That's like his personality.
So, tangents aside, we do have a movie to discuss with everybody today. So, because it's Kendra's birthday episode, Kendra got to pick the topic for the discussion today, and she picked a semi-recent classic
Break free
called
from the chains. Sorry, I couldn't hold it anymore.
well, I mean, yeah. Um, um, I didn't write out my notes. I have them on my phone. So, but uh, so Bridesmaids, which for those of you who don't know, released on April 28th, 2011. It was directed. Oh my god! Does somebody want to help me with this dude's last name? Because I always screw it up.
Paul Feig.
Oh,
Yeah, that guy.
yeah, Paul Feig.
It was distributed by Universal Pictures. Had a budget of $32.5 million and brought in a whopping 306.4 million at the box office.
As it should.
Well, one of the nice things about me watching this on Prime was the fact that if you touch on the screen while you're watching it, it'll kind of sort of pop up little fun facts on the side of the screen.
I didn't know that. I always watch it on my TV though.
Pop-up video.
Yeah. Pop
Yeah,
pop video.
Amazon's version of pop-up video. But
Freeform used to do that too. What did they call it? Oh crap. Freeform did it too. Like when you would watch Home Alone or like they did it with like Dirty Dancing and it was like pop-up facts. They had a name for it. I forgot what it's called, but they don't do that anymore.
They don't care.
I don't remember word for word exactly what the first fact was that popped up during the Universal globe with the Universal logo scrolling across it said, but it was something along the lines of Bridesmaids was or became the highest grossing female led comedy of all time, unseating Sex and the City.
And I'm guessing Bad Moms unseated Bridesmaids.
I don't know.
Maybe not. It was just about damn fucking time that we got raunchy comedy for us. Like raunchy comedy for women that actually relates to stuff in our lives, not just like, male raunchy comedy, but we think that's funny. Like this was for us and I freaking loved it.
You mean raunchy comedy that isn't necessarily just straight up the only thing girls can be is porn stars?
Exactly.
So, last but not least, before we get to everybody's favorite game, though, if you need to see Bridesmaids on the interwebs, I had to rent it on the Prime, so you're shit out of luck for streaming for free.
Unless you own the DVD, as I do.
I own it on Blu-ray.
Well,
you should have asked me, Kasey. It's on the Plex.
Oh, the special website?
I mean, it's not really special. It's movies we own that we put on our home server. I can say that. Just, it's easier to have your physical copy. Well, my husband's a computer nerd, so we have a home server. So, it's easier to actually have to go look
Facebook. I saw his Facebook post about, yes, I am that nerd that has a server at home.
Yes, he is. It's massive. I'll be so glad when it's out of sight. At the new house, it's going to have its own rack with wheels. It's going to go in the media room closet. I won't ever have to look at it again because it is an eyesore.
Oh, it's like a physical machine?
Yes.
That you just like upload it in like a cloud or something, and it's like now.
No, this is a physical hard drive, so that if our house were to burn down or we decide we want to get rid of all of our physical media, and it's just so we can access it through an app. So I can turn on my TV, open the Plex app, and our whole library is there, instead of having to go to the DVD, Blu-ray closet, and we actually got rid of most of our collection. We just kept the special stuff. So anyway, if you have the technology, it's very
No.
convenient. But the point is, you have a login for that, Kasey, so you could have watched Bridesmaids for free.
It doesn't always work.
Well, you have to tell me when it's not working.
Oh, well.
'Cause shit happens.
I'm not going to lie.
It turns off
It
or whatever.
was like 10 o'clock last night when I started Bridesmaids, and I figured it's midnight in Texas. I'm not waking you up for what the hell's wrong with the damn server.
But anyway.
So, all right. Favorite game time. I have 2 Rotten Tomato scores for everybody to try and guess. I have a tomato score and I have a popcorn meter score. For those of you who don't know, the tomato meter is the critic score, the popcorn meter is the audience score. And Amanda, what? It's the birthday girls. It's the birthday girls episode.
Yeah.
She gets to.
The birthday girl goes first, so I can Price is Right her.
Oh no! The birthday girl gets to announce what we in the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network think of Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, I guess fuck it. Fuck Rotten Tomatoes. I'm gonna guess that it got an 87 for the tomatoes, but like a 91 with the audience.
Woo! Finally, somebody who's as slutty as me with their ratings. I'm a ratings whore. Okay. Kendra's even being more generous than me. I'm gonna say
Oscar-nominated screenplay. I gotta say, the critics had to like it.
Yeah. Oh, remind me, please help me. I need to jot down a note. We gotta circle back to some Oscar stuff before we get done, but I'm not gonna get into it right now. I'm gonna say tomato meter was. What'd you say? 87? I'm gonna say 82. And I'm going to say popcorn meter is 90.
Kendra wins the tomato meter portion of the guessing.
What was it?
89%.
Nice. Okay. That makes me happy.
Neither of the two of you were close on the popcorn meter.
Oh. They're not like
in a good way or a bad way?
76%.
Shut the fuck up.
It's guys being like, they're not funny. Yeah. Girls.
Yeah. Look at girls trying to be funny. Blah, blah, blah.
It's not The Hangover.
That's what I thought. We believe you, Kasey. I thought that's what the critics were going to be like. It was going to be like a bunch of male critics shitting on female-led movies, but it was all the guys whose girlfriends made them watch it, and they were exactly. It's not The Hangover.
So
it's as good as Wedding Crashers.
Yeah, Wedding Crashers. Been Will Ferrell.
I legitimately scrolled down to the bottom of the screen where you do get some actual comments from people, and there actually was comments stating they ripped off The Hangover. It's not The Hangover.
Not even a little bit did they rip off The Hangover. Other than it's a bridal party. There's a million movies with bridal parties. Like that. I mean, they didn't even make it to Vegas in this movie, so you can't say they ripped off The Hangover.
Well, technically, fun fact, they were supposed to make it to Vegas.
Well, yeah.
In the original script, but that never happened.
But Helen drugged Annie and made her cause a scene.
There's a colonial woman on the beach.
They get ripped off the fucking plane in the middle of Wyoming.
Every time I go on a plane, there's a colonial woman on the
Every time I go, especially when we sit in first class, I always go, help me, I'm poor. Because I realize it's not. I did, so during COVID, and I lost my personal TikTok account. So I lost a lot of these videos, but during COVID, I was so bored. So I was like doing all these reenactments on TikTok, and I did one of that, like stove. What are you, an appliance?
No.
You're a flight attendant.
For those people who don't know, that was one of the very first things that my co-host and I bonded over was her COVID era reenactments.
Yes. Me doing Mrs. Huxtable, that was popular.
Well, I mean, that's a classic freaking scene from the Cosby Show.
Yes.
So
okay, well, should I tell everybody what Bridesmaids is about, just in case they don't know? I mean, clearly about bridesmaids, but
Well, yeah, I mean,
Post-apocalyptic journey.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Okay.
I mean,
Annie
do
is
you
a
see
single.
her car?
Yeah. Poor Annie. She is down on her luck.
I mean, her car very much looks like a freaking vehicle from Mad Max.
Okay. Let's see. Annie is a single woman whose own life is a mess, but when she learns that her lifelong best friend Lillian is engaged, she has no choice but to serve as the maid of honor. Though lovelorn and almost penniless, Annie, nevertheless, winds her way through the strange and experienced rituals associated with the job as the bride's go to gal. Determined to make things perfect, she leads Lillian and the other bridesmaids down the wild road to the wedding. That's not entirely accurate, but we'll go with it. Fucking Helen.
Well, I mean, it'd probably be a little bit more accurate if there was more detail in it. But
Well, it's a plot summary. What are you going to do? I do.
well, I mean, you don't want to necessarily blow your wad before we even start the discussion.
And the previews made it clear that Helen and Annie were going to be, frenemies or
Mhm.
just enemies.
Well,
But I
they're enemies.
like so that's one of the things I love about this movie. I'm sure Kendra's going to say too, but it is a pretty accurate representation of certain situations in like friendships. Like when you hear someone else call your best friend their best friend, I mean, it makes my blood pressure rise a little bit. I'm like, wait a minute, what? No, that's my best friend, bitch.
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty accurate. I had this happen in high school. So this was very familiar where it's like, oh, because we had two middle schools go into one high school. So it's like when we have like our friends and honors, but then we have to like kind of combine and we're meeting other kids that were in those classes. And like those girls did not like me, but they liked all my friends. So it's like as high school went on, it was like, oh, not invited again, or oh,
Yeah.
you're hanging out with them. My Helen has apologized to me since, but yeah, it was hell. It was hell when you're like,
Yeah.
oh, we're all friends, but then it's like, oh, they have new friends and new lives and adventures in your life over here. So that's
And
why
stuff
I'm
you don't
so
even
glad.
know about. Like they're doing stuff without you that you don't even know about.
Or like they went to and you're like, oh, you went to a concert and like wasn't invited, or yeah. So I'm so glad we didn't grow up with social media. That I can't even
Ugh.
imagine seeing it. You just heard about it then. Now it's like you have to see the Helen.
Cutthroat. Yeah. I wouldn't have survived if we had social media.
No.
'Cause I have grown a
Very-
lot into the, matured adult that I am now, but I had really bad jealousy issues
Oh,
as a young person. Like, I mean, I had abandonment issues. I had some shit in my childhood. So when I started getting into friendships and into relationships, I mean, I wasn't crazy, but like I can look back on some of my relationships and be like, why was I so jealous? Oh my God, I was so stupid. Like, there's an ex-boyfriend that I kind of wish I could call up and be like, I am so sorry. I don't know why I acted like that. I was fucking crazy. But it's just being young and you feel possessed I think when you grow up a certain way, you feel possessive of the things that really matter to you. And obviously people aren't possessions, but I'm just like kind of
but they're your people.
when a person's your person, you feel very like that's my person and you don't want them to get stolen away because everything else in your life has been stolen away or whatever. I don't know.
Like with Annie, she lost her business, her
Yeah.
fiance, so Lillian was it, and then to lose Lillian, that's like the last straw.
Yeah.
And that was where the spiral downward started.
And the one-upping is real too.
Oh yeah.
The one-upping is like, oh, yeah.
Like, oh, I gotta get him a better present than that bitch. I gotta do this, better than that. Mm-hmm.
Helen was a see you next Tuesday. I mean, until the end, she has her redemption arc as they have to, or we would have hated her.
Mm-hmm.
This movie made me not like Rose Byrne for a while. I had to watch some of her other movies, and I'm like, okay, I like her. But I'm gonna say this and I want to hear what you guys think. Annie is a mess, but I don't think she was in the wrong. I think Lillian was a bad friend.
Yeah, I agree. Because like she's going like like she can't pay her rent. She's like the losing the business, like she has
Yeah.
no money. She's living with these weird siblings.
Oh God.
Like she has a shit job. And then you're over here like, oh, my apple, gonna have the magazine party. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
girl, I'm happy for you, but like read the fucking room.
Right.
And then
Or
you
at least still be there for her later down. Like, yes, it's your wedding and it's your time, but like she's calling you, leaving voicemails like, oh, I slept with this guy and now I did this. And like, you're being a shitty friend if you just like latch on to Helen's star and go with her and let her do everything. And, I guess she's trying to fit into this whole new world, but I thought Lillian was a bad friend.
But in the end, it's like, who was there for you?
Exactly.
Not Helen. It was the person who knows you best, not this like new fancy toy you got.
Right.
The old raggedy weird Barbie. That's a lot.
Oh, Weird Barbie. I love Weird Barbie. What kind of a woman takes another grown woman to Paris? Lesbian.
Oh, that's like that scene alone has like the best quotes.
Yes.
And you know how I know? Because I got
My
too.
I love my new asshole.
You think any of these women are gonna finish that fucking cookie?
That was one of my favorite parts. And one of the things I say all the time, like, and I usually say it out of context, but just like if I feel like it fits, because it's one of the truest things that's said in the movie, even though it's funny. When Lillian's like, why can't you just be happy for me and then go home and talk about me behind my back like a normal person?
Like, yeah. Talk about not being mature. So I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll
What
be
do you
like
think,
on Instagram, and I'm like, this bitch posting her life, and I'll go to my other friend and be like, you see that bitch posting?
Yep. Like you like that post, and then you're like,
eye roll as you click the heart. You're like, okay, okay, girl.
Social media needs the eye roll emoji, but I think if that happened, the world would burn down. Like, I feel like that's the only thing keeping people from completely losing it on like Facebook is that there's no eye roll emoji.
Yeah, the sad and anger kind of like teetering.
Yeah.
But give me an eye roll, and I'd lose all family I have.
Yeah. The world would burn to the fucking ground.
Well, I mean, could you? Literally, with scrolling through your news feed, and you see this going on in the world and that going on.
Not even the news, just
the people you know.
Newborn babies, eye roll. I don't care. Don't post a baby till about a year, until it's baked into of oxygen. I hate newborns. I don't like them. They're all like, and you're like, oh, like that is not cute. that just came out of the birth canal, and you're like, put a bow on it, thinking it's cute. Ugh.
Well, I would just post it to be like, look what I just fucking did. I'm a queen. Mic drop.
Show me it's like a little hand or something. Like, oh, like a little baby foot. So cute. Don't show me this though.
Kasey, do you think Lillian was a bad friend?
Absolutely. There was several times, especially going through probably the first 3/4 of the movie, where it's like, how in the blue hell did somebody just not grab her and slap the shit out of her?
Yeah. Especially given she knows that Annie, like, a wedding is really expensive, and I've never been a part of them. I'm sure you have. You mentioned the bridesmaid dress soon, but the cost of it, I'm like, don't.
Yeah, for her not step in when she knows Annie can't, and Helen suggesting an $800 dress that you'll never wear again because that dress is not like, I know brides always say you can wear it again. But when I had bridesmaids, I was very careful to pick something and make sure they liked it that you could actually wear again. Because I hate when bitches say that. And it's like, I wouldn't wear that again if you paid me.
I like the trend of like picking a color and letting them pick the style or design. Yeah. Like, just stick with the color.
Well, like the wedding that I'm going to in a few weeks is my niece, and they're not technically having a wedding party, but the family is going to be like their wedding party. So she was just like floor length, black dress, no sequins. And so, everybody will have something kind of different, but the aesthetic will still look good.
Not like these dresses in this are hideous. I hate them.
Yeah. I was kind of glad Lillian shit herself in the street, because that was a dick move to not be like, well, first of all, why is Helen picking the dress? Why are the bridesmaids picking the dress? Like, I mean, I've been a bridesmaid four
Never a bride.
times. No, I've been a bride. And yes, the bridesmaids get input, but you already go in there with an idea of what you're looking for, and the bride gets to choose. I mean, unless each person is paying for it, then I say they get a little more input, but like still, why wasn't Lillian taking the lead on that? I was kind of
I think she was in the back trying on the dress at that time.
Well, no, when they first walked in, she was still out there when she was like, "Oh, it's a Fritz Bernays. I just don't think we can do any better than this."
Ladies, when she puts it on and goes, that's my favorite. I love that's like Helen's best part. I mean,
I mean,
sweet.
and her fake laugh. Like when her stepson tells her to fuck off, she's just like, put a quarter in the swim jar.
Which shout out, he is from Victorious, the Nickelodeon show. Woo woo, that spawned Ariana Grande.
Nice. Abby loved that show. I don't remember him, but
He was
I saw it in
a
passing.
puppet. Rings a bell.
I'm getting sweaty in this dress.
It's everywhere.
You feel that heat? That's coming from my undercarriage.
Honestly, it's a swamp down there, don't you? The swamp princess is what I call my nether regions.
This dress is going to be really hot. I may have to reconsider it.
But guess what else do I love about this movie? When did it came out? 2011.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
This was a rough time. I was struggling much like Annie financially, and I just was like, this is my girl. Like that's one of the characters where I was like, that's me immediately.
Mhm.
And then I fell into baking later, so it is.
I thought of you when that with the baking. I was like, oh, I had a friend. Oh, go ahead.
I didn't bake at the time, but now I bake. But yeah, just the whole financial struggle and like all your friends just being able to do everything. And you're just like constantly looking at your bank account, like, please, God, no, don't suggest another goddamn thing.
Right?
I'm just fucking swallowed here. But yes.
I like
Very much sounds like an
episode.
episode of Friends.
Oh my God. I was just saying. Yeah.
Mhm.
There was a good episode of Friends that that addressed that without like making it too awkward, but they definitely did kind of like, because it is a thing friends don't really talk about, except maybe like best friends, but like, well, they are best. You know what I mean.
Finance. Which one was struggling in Friends?
So it was Ross, Chandler, and Monica that kind of had the money, and it was Rachel, Phoebe, and Joey that kind of didn't. And it all comes to a head for this thing for Ross's birthday, and it's just like, you know, like they would go to the restaurant, and Ross is like, let's split the bill, but like Rachel had a side salad, and Phoebe had a cup of cold soup, and she's like, I'm not paying $27 for that, like, you know, so. And Ross is just like, well, I don't really think of money as an issue. And Rachel's like, yeah, that's because you have it.
People always get on Ross as like the most annoying character, but he was one of my favorites because he did live alone, and I was like, bitch, he's balling. He doesn't have roommates in his like 20s or whatever, and all these other people do. And then the reality is, you're gonna need roommates.
Yeah, especially in New York.
There's no living alone. Yeah, I always liked Ross because he lived by himself. I think Phoebe did too, but they never like really showed her. She was just always hanging around. But anyway.
Well, and even Rachel lived with Phoebe for a while. So,
then,
people do shit on Ross. And I will say, I think he was very clingy and too jealous. But again, I went through a phase like that. So I don't know. Like, I don't think Ross is as bad as people make him out to be. Now, at the end, him telling Rachel not to go to Paris, I thought was kind of, but what else were they going to have him do? We knew the show had to end with them together. So, I don't blame Ross for that. I blame the writers.
But much like Annie, having to have those dang roommates.
Oh my God.
We have voted that you won't live here anymore.
Yeah, Fat Amy before she was Fat Amy. They're so creepy.
I got a word.
It's all infected. And she opens the bag of peas and pops it.
Oh.
You're supposed to keep them in the bag.
I think when they were taking the bath together was what sent me over the edge. It's like shaving her armpit.
That was too close. The siblings too close.
Yeah.
Great casting though, because they looked exactly the same.
So I've only seen the one version of the movie, and yeah, granted, the unrated version's only 5 minutes longer than the original version. Are I mean, is both movies that drastically different?
I guess I don't know. I think I've only seen the unrated version.
They probably know. I mean, does it change the outcome of the movie or how you feel?
I'm trying to think like what scene, like it would have had to have been something like dirty or raunchy. Like maybe the siblings in the bathtub might not have been in it, or yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's not on the other version.
So yeah, it's probably just like a few extra scenes like that where it's like,
There you go.
yeah, that was a little gross. He's shaving her armpit.
What's say about this movie? The cop. He's
Oh,
adorable.
so adorable. I love him.
Chris O'Dowd. Like
He
that.
reminds me of. Oh, sorry.
I don't know what I don't like is when Annie gets all pissed at him for getting the baking stuff and always talking about the baking. Like, bitch, he liked your food. Like, that's cool. And he's like interested in you and what you do. You're kind of being a Helen about it.
See, I was kind of with Annie on that. Like, I think she overreacted, but I think they've spent one night together, and now he's like, if he had just presented it and she said, I don't really want to, and he said, okay, fine, done. But he kept like pushing her, and clearly she has emotional issues about this. And it was kind of like, dude, like you guys just met, like maybe don't try and, like she said, fix her. Like, I get you liked her cooking and you want her to be happy, but it comes across as controlling.
I don't know. I think it's cool. I mean, you're coming from John Hamm, who just wants one thing, and then this guy's interested in something you like.
True.
That's a problem with women. They always think, oh, it's creepy and it's too much. Like sometimes guys just are being nice and interested in you. And this is why you're going to end up with the John Hams. Because you can't understand what a nice guy is. But John Hamm, bless his heart and his penis for this movie.
He's so hot, it's hard to hate him. But like, it's so awkward because I really want you to leave. I don't know how to say it without sounding like a dick. I kind of just did. And like, wouldn't you hate having to explain our relationship to all those people? Like, that would be so embarrassing for you. I'm just thinking about you.
He plays a really good.
Even in that one opening scene, it was like I want to hate him, but still, I can't stop fucking laughing at him.
Oh no, I hated him in the opening scene because it's like no girl wants to be jackhammered like that, like constantly. Like, stop it. I love her face. Like, especially if she's telling you, like, let's slow it down, and she's like leading the charge. Like, do it, dude. Like, just do what she says. He's like, no, I want to go fast.
Then like her having to leave in the morning on the gate.
Oh my god.
In a dress, no less, climbing a fence. Like, that was crazy.
Worst walk of shame ever. Another thing that I do, sorry, Kasey. Another thing I do all the time is the scene when they're in the cafe. Anytime somebody talks about doing an impression of a penis, I'm like, or like I do that was like, it's right. It was just like right in my face. Like, you just like, and then she just like,
what are those? The balls.
If y'all can't see us, we're doing the impression of Annie's impression of a penis. I do that to George all the time just to make him laugh. I'm like, good times.
But this movie proves like they are my top like females of SNL.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we could debate it all day, but those two together, Maya Rudolph,
amazing.
For me, they're my queens of SNL, and this movie just proves it. Why? Proves why.
And you can tell they really like each other.
Did you like the other bridesmaids, other than Helen, of course?
I mean, they're all. So this is one of those movies where I'm like, if somebody asked me to pick a favorite side character, I don't know if I could. Like, all of the side characters in this movie are fucking hilarious, like in their own way. Mm-hmm. Megan, I mean, another thing I say all the time with George, I'm like, when I'm asking if he's hungry, is there a hungry bear in here? You want a big bear sandwich? You want to go into that restroom and not rest?
When they have to, well, on the plane, when he finally like admits he's the air mark, whatever, and she's
Air
like, "All
marshal.
right, let's go," and she's like so hyped.
And then she just tackles Annie. And I love the other two when they're getting drunk on the plane. He's like, you smell like sunshine. What did she say?
Brianna Cinderella.
She's so cute. Aaron from The Office. This is my husband. You don't have a husband. Sorry.
Oh, good. That part. And that she have her from The Office. You have Wendy Mc whatever. I can never say her name.
I can't either, but I love her.
Robin Covey.
There you go. It's like very long. Goldberg. Shout out.
Yep.
But I know she's from Reno 911. But yeah,
Yes.
so this is like an all-star cast too.
It
like
really
no
is.
duds. No duds here.
Yeah.
I get sad though because both moms, both Lillian and Annie's moms, are passed away in real life. Unfortunately,
Aww.
the
Like when they made this movie, or
since they made the movie, Annie's mom died a while ago, but
oh, you mean in the never mind.
in real life, Lillian's mom just passed away. That was Charlie's mom from Sunny.
I think Annie's mom is one of my favorites.
You can't
Started blowjobbing for money.
I met him at AA at my meeting. It's nice.
It's called the chicken coop. It's where you peck your way. Your father likes it because he grew up on a farm.
Yeah, she's really good. Yeah, it's a stellar cast. No complaints. I do like that her writing partner gets to be in the movie just a little bit too on the plane. She's the one freaking out next to her on the plane.
Oh,
Who goes on to be on screen with her in Barb and Star. Hey, Barb.
I had a dream the plane crashed. You were in it.
That whole movie has so many and we just don't get that a lot in comedies anymore, where it's like so quotable, and to stick in pop culture is not easy, especially nowadays, because it's like, I mean, who's quoting a Marvel movie for comedy? Nobody.
But help me, I'm poor. Like everybody knows what that's from.
Mm-hmm.
You do.
Coming at me like hot lava. Well,
look away.
So, don't you do it, Megan.
Kasey, I want to ask you a question, because I feel like this is one of the reasons, and I'm not saying you, but I'm like saying a lot of guys in general, and why they haven't made a lot of movies like this is because guys don't want to see girls throwing up and shitting their pants and all that stuff. But the truth is that stuff happens to us just like it happens to you guys. Like everybody poops. There's literally a kid's book called Everybody Poops. Like, is that a deterrent for you to watch a movie like this, or do you laugh about it? Oh, you're muted.
Muted.
I was like, he's thinking real hard about how to not piss me off.
He said a lot of things. You're still muted. At least it's
okay.
There you go.
So, like the stuff you talked about, I don't think that is a deterrent for me as much. If I don't feel like I can relate in some way, shape, or form to what's going on in the movie, then it's easier for me to, switch off and check out.
Right.
And I mean, right, wrong, or indifferent, I've never been a bridesmaid in a wedding before, so it's not necessarily relevant to me. But if you don't think about stuff like that, like once I got past that thought, I enjoyed the hell out of this movie.
It was funny enough and enough content that the bridesmaid part was. It was primary for the girls, probably, but for guys, it was secondary to all the other comedy.
That's interesting because you're like, oh, I can't relate, but then Marvel movies are like huge for guys, and it's like, oh, it's like to be fucking Thor. It's like to be Hulk, be strong.
They know what it's like. Dream
by spider. Yeah, like it's like save the world. No, Unless you're
I
like,
do. That's what an evening at the movies does. One episode at a time is save the world.
No, I just think guys are like, again, in general, not everybody, but like, and the way society has been, changing a little bit, but whatever. But girls are trained to be seen in a certain way by guys, and you don't want the bubble broken. Like, even George will be like, he burps all the time, so loud, it's so gross, it's so smelly, and he just does it all the time. And if I even burp once, he's like, ew, and like, I know he's like 70% joking, but I know part of him is like, I can't look at you as a hot wife if you're burping and you're talking about your poop and you're like, whatever. And it's like, why are you like, he talks about his pooping all the time. Like, why do you get to talk about it? I'm still supposed to want to have sex with you, but if I talk about it, then it's like, it's a double standard, my friends. So I was glad they said that.
With black and white stuff too. I mean, it's like, it's like it's men are, I think, seen as the universal, like just how white is usually universal compared to if it's about Mexican or black, it's like, that's for them, that's a niche, which is exciting that Sinners is doing so well, I guess.
Yeah,
it wasn't perfect, but it's another
I do
story.
want to see it.
It's fun. I have part.
The hell?
What was that?
I don't know. It wasn't me.
Scared me. It's fine. It's fine.
My phone.
You'll like it. There's like some good. There's a couple scenes that are like gonna be like when they do like best of and Oscars and stuff. There's 2 scenes that are like perfection, but there's some things that I could have done without. Made it an 8 out of 10 for me.
Okay.
The other people, I'm like they like the parts I didn't like, and I'm like, okay. But those 2 scenes,
okay,
where you have to see it in theaters for those 2 scenes.
Okay.
It's worth it.
Is there anything you guys didn't like about this movie?
I guess I'm.
Yeah, you're screwed because you don't have a theater.
Make the trip, make the journey 3 hours to your theater, wherever it is.
Seattle.
It's worth it. I heard it's
I guess
really
I'll be
good.
making the 45-minute drive.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah. Shit, everything in DFW takes 45 minutes. That's like nothing.
Didn't like her reaction to the cop wanting to bake.
Yeah.
I wish we would have seen a little of Vegas. I get it, probably cut for time, and it just didn't make sense. The plane was fine and was like perfect anyway, but I do wish we kind of seen that. It's like in The Office. I wish we got to see Jim and Pam's like actual wedding party.
Right.
Like they did perfect. It always makes me cry, but I wish we could have seen the party too.
Yeah, I cry every time at that episode.
Mm-hmm. But just those things. That's it. Other than that,
yeah.
I wish Doug. I'm like, you're gonna Dougie. Who's this guy? Just some guy. I wish it would have been like someone super famous because they're not in it a lot.
Oh yeah, true. Like,
it.
Yeah, could have made John Hamm Doug, but no, John Hamm is perfect.
Yeah, I don't know who I would have picked as him. I don't know. Somebody just random. Like, why is he here?
They could have picked what's his name that plays Ron Swanson.
Nick Offerman.
Yes, thank you. It was like right there, but I couldn't remember. I do wish we had gotten something of a bachelorette party. Like, I understand the plane thing and that all fell apart, but like, could we have still gotten a scene at the cabin or like whatever? Because I feel like that would have been a good opportunity to take some of those conversations further. And also, although I feel like we had enough tension between Helen and Annie, like, could you imagine like a girls' slumber party, like how that would have gone?
Or just a night out in Vegas in general is always stressful, especially when you're trying to get dressed up and where to go, getting there.
I want to know how Annie was going to afford Vegas, honestly.
I've been to Vegas plenty of times. You don't need money.
Oh, you can eat buffet?
My friend's uncle on Easter paid for that for us at Caesar's. Still one of the best buffets experience. I still talk about it.
Ridiculous.
The Caesar one is just, I still talk about the smoked applewood bacon, like one of the best things I've ever eaten. But Yeah, you don't need,
Bellagio's is good.
unless you wanted to go out to those like fancy restaurants, which I'm a Sbarro girl when I go to Vegas. I don't care. I'll get sliced.
But even like a McDonald's chicken nugget meal is $17. Like,
McDonald's in general has gotten
What?
too much, too big for their britches, and it's not even as good anymore.
yeah. But
Like,
that's what I'm saying though, is it's just like everything is so expensive, even the stuff that's supposed to be cheap.
I'm going in July, so we'll
Ooh.
see how that goes. I know.
Good luck. I have been there in July. Good luck.
Last time I went was July, and I was like dying. I like landed, and I had
Mercy
to
the
see
flames.
Barbie. As soon as I got to the hotel, I had to like take my clothes off to dry for a minute, then put it back on, and go watch Barbie. And I had to come home, shower for Garth Brooks, because I was like, I am so gross just
Yeah.
from the theater. But it's a good time.
Yeah.
And we were going in July, end of July for Backstreet Boys. Let's see how cute we are by the time we get from the hotel.
Right.
Just like, ugh. But they want us to wear all white, so at least sweat won't show.
Very cool. Kasey, do you not like
So,
anything about
I remember a couple. Well, before I get to that, I remember a couple years ago stepping out of the freaking doorway at Will Rogers Airport in Oklahoma City. That shit was, oh my god. So I can only imagine Vegas, because Vegas has got to be 100 times worse than freaking Oklahoma City.
It's hot.
Oklahoma and Texas in the summer are not to be
So.
trifled with.
No. As far as what I didn't particularly, I agree with Kendra. Maybe like her whole reaction to him being supportive, little communication,
You're cutting
and
out, buddy.
explaining. Fucking Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you're okay.
All of that, but there really isn't a whole lot about this movie to hate, though.
Yeah.
It's, if anything, it's just little nitpick stuff.
The dress, the Bridesmaids dress, so ugly.
And Lillian's wedding dress. Like, how did that dress turn into that? And she not know? That's what was very confusing to me.
I think at that point they're just
I'm
like,
not gonna.
Helen's not gonna say anything because she lost the bride.
Yeah.
Say,
I was gonna say, from my male perspective, that dress was what the fuck? How do you even let it get that bad?
Yeah, that was wild.
So, Wilson Phillips, great addition. They actually, that wasn't their original pick. I think they wanted to go with the "We Can Build This" that one.
Oh, Starship, yeah.
Skeleton Twins.
Yeah.
For that, so they were like, she can't do it.
Yeah, you can't copy Skeleton Twins.
Yeah, so, and it was not going to be as good if they used it, because that's, I could do that scene. I do both parts. Oh, I love it.
Nice.
In the car, if it's on the radio, I'm like, okay, time to perform.
Yep.
But yeah, Wilson Phillips though is, I think, a good one too, because how cheap are they to get?
Right. And Hold On was such a perfect song.
Yeah, I think I was listening to the lyrics when I was watching it, and I was like, I think this was the perfect song lyrically for this moment story.
Don't you know things change, things will go your way if you hold on
for one
more day.
I won't pay for this shit.
They could have hired us.
A pantsuit on the beach, Carney Wilson icon.
I had that album on cassette tape, and I listened to it over and over and over. The whole thing was just so good.
Are there more jams? Is it just one?
I think there's a couple. It's been a while since I listened to it. I have to go back and check. But I know I liked it back then.
Oh, another thing that pissed me off. Well, I didn't hate it, but pissed me off is at the party when you get a homemade gift and then for some bitch to come through with like an expensive one and just try to that because I've been that person.
Mhm.
I love homemade gifts. I think they're way better, more personal. And I
Yeah.
was like, that happened to me with my nephew, like his little kindergarten graduation. Like he was really into like our fifth, whatever it was. He was into Goosebumps. So I got a bunch of old Goosebump books and like little things. And then he gave it to him. He's like, oh, cool. And then his mom's like, okay, now for the good presents. And I was like,
Bitch.
yeah, that describes her perfectly. Even that's too good for her.
Wow.
Like she is horrible. But I was like, and we brought a cake and everything, and her dad brought like one of those like smash cakes. So one kid was I was like, okay, now your brother's gonna eat all my fucking cake. That
Right?
mm,
Wow.
time for the good presents. And Helen taking the fringe idea. She didn't even know Lillian like France and like does this whole
That was so fucking annoying.
lady.
I mean, I like that Annie called her out on it. She's like, I told you about this whole thing. And like, she's like, oh, I think that French thing's just a little overdone. Like, I mean, Helen was purposefully a bitch. She was trying to get Annie out of the picture.
Yeah, because but then you're like, oh, she doesn't have friends.
Right.
So you kind of get on her. You're like, I understand where she's coming from, but like, girl, did you have to approach it like this? It's
Right.
still somebody that was already taken for your friend.
Like,
when you take that mom who's like with the cum rags, always talking about cum rags.
I broke a blanket in half.
Got a new top. I'm gonna wear it.
Semen.
Boys are disgusting.
They really are.
Yes.
My sister-in-law has 4 boys, and they had a house in Kansas, and they had a whole like downstairs basement thing, and all the boys' rooms were down there, and they had like a little rec room, and then you would go down there, and like I wouldn't even use the bathroom down there because it was just disgusting. I'd be like, no, I'm going upstairs to use the bathroom, and like the whole place just smelled.
Are they all kind of the same age as well?
They were close, yeah. They were all pretty much teenagers, or like close to it, except the youngest.
Teenagers smell. The art room at my school, they always have the door like to the outside open because like it's so bad. You walk in there and it's like, ooh, deodorant exists, guys. Deodorant exists. And the 3rd floor is our middle school, and you don't go up there unless you have to because it's and they're mean. They're scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've been in schools a lot in the last probably 15 years, and you can tell the difference between the girls' rooms and the guy and anything guys related, because the guys stuff just ugh. And I'm a freaking guy, so
Which was surprising that the cop's house was like nice because even like single men,
Yeah.
you're gambling there. And they're gonna
But
be
he eats fancy cakes, so you got to think
he's
his
British.
bathroom was at least decent. Yeah, that too.
He's not American male, so that's probably why they went with a
Yeah.
Brit.
Yep.
Because then John Hamm, well, he was rich, but
Yeah.
and they lived in where is it set?
Well, Wisconsin, I guess. Well, so it looked like it was between Chicago and Milwaukee. So like Annie lives in Milwaukee, and that's where
It's Milwaukee.
Lillian lived, but then it was like she was going to Chicago a lot, because I guess that's where her fiance lives. So I guess those are close.
And John Hamm's house for Milwaukee. I was like, you guys are really stunting like this.
That looked like LA. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked Hollywood Hills.
It looked very Hollywood Hills.
fun fact, Amazon Prime pop-up video, John Hamm's house in the movie is at the outside is actually the outside of Kelly Taylor's house from 90210.
Oh, interesting.
So
What?
yes, Southern California.
No, it isn't.
That's what Amazon Prime said. I didn't necessarily see it, but
Maybe they've remodeled, obviously. Like,
I don't no. Okay, I'm gonna look at it after we're done, because I guess I must be I'm remembering wrong the outside of his house, because I pictured it. I remember it like being kind of like yuppie, like kind of rectangular, squarish, but maybe I'm wrong. Now I'm gonna have to look, because I know Kelly Taylor's house. That bitch. She was like one of the worst characters ever. She sucked so hard.
it's Jenny. Jenny Bars.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't really remember who I liked and didn't like. I just knew I loved Brian Austin Green in the.
Oh yeah. I don't know. When he cheated on Donna, I got kind of upset, but he was still pretty cool.
It's pretty.
Yeah. Well, all right then.
So if you guys were to rate the movie out of 5, what would you give this movie?
Trying to think because I do love to rate movies.
Yeah.
Do it on Instagram. Go to Sunny_Menagerie on Instagram, and you can see. And then I have them in my highlights. And I wish that I would have saved them longer back because my what was that stupid movie Bike Riders with like Tom Hardy and Austin Butler?
Oh.
That movie's awful. That was the review that people really started to notice. I don't have it that far back. I started with Beetlejuice is when I started saving them. But I would give this. I think it's a 5 out of 5. I think it's a pretty close to perfect film.
Yeah.
It's hard to do with comedy to have one that you can watch and it's still funny and it's like ingrained into the lexicon and our zeitgeist. So I think 5 out of 5. I always try to think like what's its impact on pop culture too.
Right.
And it is an everlasting. It's quotable. It's recognizable. Even the cover, they wear the pink, and that's not in the movie. But this is so I don't know why they did that, but
I don't either. Yeah, that was weird.
But yes, 5 out of 5 for me.
Kasey, I'm guessing you didn't relay this to Kendra, so I don't know if either of you did it. A top 5.
I didn't even think about it.
Okay. So we have brought a part of the SIP list to an evening at the movies because the SIP list is probably done. So I have one, so I'm going to do it real quick if that's okay. But basically,
No,
we
you're fine.
are picking a top 5 that's related somehow to the episode, and we each pick our own and do it, whatever. So I did my top 5 female comedies.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go through them real quick, and then I'll give you my rating. So this was hard. There's more than I thought, but my number 5 is First Wives Club. So good, so funny. Love that movie.
Perfect.
My number 4 is Pitch Perfect. Another good, like, oh no, I love Pitch Perfect. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Anna Kendra.
I love Pitch Perfect. My number 3 is Romeo and Michelle's High School Reunion, which is only 2 girls, or kind of 3, but still, it's a pretty good. Whatever.
It has all it's the villains too.
Yes. Number 2 is Bridesmaids, and number 1 is Bad Moms. Bad Moms changed my freaking life. Like, it was so refreshing because it's another whole thing that moms aren't allowed to talk about the stuff they don't like and things being shitty and how hard it is. Like, we're just supposed to be so appreciative and so like whatever. And, especially like, people say, well, we can't have kids, so at least you can. And I'm like, okay, I struggled with secondary infertility. Like, I couldn't get pregnant again. So I know the struggle of not being able to, it's not the same as never being able to, but you're still allowed to bitch about being a mom because sometimes it really fucking sucks. So I loved Bad Moms. One of my favorite movies ever. Also 5 out of 5 for this movie. Hilarious, quotable, great cast. Nothing bad to say. Near perfect comedy.
I don't have a top 5, but I can give you my top 5 Kristen Wiig things, I guess. They're not
If you want to, you don't have to. We forget about it. Like, I'm Kasey, I understand. I should have it's a thing we're trying to do, but we're not consistent with it. So
they're not in order, but obviously SNL.
Mm.
Everything she's done on there is perfect. The Skeleton Twins.
Circle Week. Okay, sorry.
Their little hand. Skeleton Twins, just that came out. Like, this movie came out at the right time. And her character in that, oh my god, so relatable. What else? Oh, Big Mouth. She plays Jesse's vulva.
Oh, nice.
Big Mouth. She is Jesse's vulva. I think Cynthia Erivo is going to be in the new and last season as some type of body part. Not sure what. There's another movie she did that I can't remember the name. Girl Most Likely. It's kind of that, like, along the lines of this, like, my life is over, I'm struggling. And then, yeah, those would be my, I don't know if that's 5. And then Bridesmaids, of course.
Nice.
But yeah, if you've never seen Girl Most Likely and you're having like a downtime, watch that.
Oh.
That, and I mean, she kind
Um,
of plays that skeleton twins in this. She's got kind of a niche.
Despicable Me 2 is one of my faves for her.
I've seen that.
She's the love interest of Gru in Despicable Me 2, and she's super cute.
For as much as I love animated movies, I think I've only seen the first Despicable Me. It's funny.
I think the second one's better than the first one. That's one of the few movies I will say that about. Anytime someone mentions Hugh Jackman, we always say it the way she says it in the movie, because like she's going to go to Australia and she's trying to practice her accent, and she's just like, Hugh Jackman? She says it like that. So, but yeah. No, the second one's really cute. You should watch it.
So I was gonna go like 4.5 out of 5 for the movie, but I decided to give it a half a point bonus point. So I'm gonna go 5 out of 5 because this, and no disrespect to Kendra for picking the movie, but when she picked the movie, I was kind of, okay, whatever.
Rude.
But I came into the movie with little to no expectations, and at the end of the day, I came out loving the movie. And
This was your first time watching it?
yes,
Wow. I had no idea.
Part of that 300 million it made at the box office.
Yeah.
A 45-minute drive. He was like, nah.
And he doesn't have a movie theater. I'll give him a break.
it's only been since COVID that we lost our movie theater.
Oh, well, then there's no excuse for you. Shame on you.
I had one in 2011. I did see this in theaters.
I did too.
I did not.
Clearly. Okay, continue. Sorry.
So,
Last movie I saw
but-
ZT.
it's definitely worthy of a 5 out of 5. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's well written. The acting is freaking amazing from top to bottom. You know, Melissa McCarthy and her husband,
Amazing.
especially in the, I guess you can't say post credit scene because it's kind of sort of pre credit scene.
I mean, it's the very end before the credits. Our first sexual encounter.
And I just love that they never went back. This didn't need a sequel. We didn't need to,
Yes.
unlike Hangover, that was like, let's keep going. 40 more movies. This
Yeah.
new one and done. And I hope they never do a sequel. You have to let some comedies just live on in one thing.
I mean, I could see a legacy movie later on where it's like, you know, Annie's kid or
Ooh,
Lillian's
Annie's kid is marrying Helen's son.
right?
Remember?
Stepson. Well, I'd meet Annie have to have a kid like him right now. But
Oh my God, Amanda and Kendra are going to be like 70 years old going to the movie theater to
I would.
watch a legacy movie.
I mean, yeah.
You do
I'm
it.
only going to movie theaters until I can no longer physically leave the house.
I
Movie
love
theaters are dying and we need to save them.
I will always choose to go to the theater if it's a movie I love. I'm hopefully seeing like a smaller movie tomorrow at our tiny theater just to support. So hopefully that's what I'll be spending my birthday doing, going to the movies.
Nice. The fact that kids now are missing out on the movie going experience is just, it breaks my heart. And it's so easy now. You get to pick your seat and buy it in advance. I mean, I remember in my 20s going to like 3 hours early for the last Twilight movie to sit down so I could get a good seat. Like, people don't know the struggle. Like,
Yes,
it's so easy for them to go. I don't understand why.
in the front.
Yeah.
But as a kid, I loved sitting in the front. But now, if I don't get the last 2 seats in the corner, I'm not go. I will go to a different day or time. I'm like, I have to have those seats just because for safety reasons. I like to be the furthest from or I like to have ocular view of the entryway.
Yeah.
But in America, you have to do those things. So I'm always
Yeah.
like, and I want to be in the back. So if anything pops off, I'm popping behind the seat and army crawling out the fucking exit. I have
Well,
plans.
and it used to be a lot of the theaters. I haven't seen this in a long time, but like the theaters I grew up going to, they had doors at the back that would go like up into the like room where the film was. And so I'd be like, I would love to sit by those doors because like if I have to get the fuck out of here, I'm going right through this door and nobody will even know I was here.
One, I think it was Black Panther. I was like so on edge because something had just happened like the week prior, a couple of days, and I was like, I'm gonna jump over this. I'm gonna jump over the rail. If I break my ankle, I can go. I can still do it. I just have to get it far. Just have to be faster than everyone in here. That's my plan every time. Be faster than those with you.
You don't have to be faster than everyone. You just have to be
Yes.
faster than the slowest person.
True.
So be the first one out. But yeah, I
If there's gunshots firing, that's not exactly true.
But I wish kids could go to the movies. I think
Me
Minecraft
too.
did really well. I mean, they still do well, but I feel like they're not going as much. Like I went and saw like Men in Black, like movies that weren't necessarily for like little kids, but still like I loved them. Like I watched First Wives Club at like what 8, 9, and was like, that is life. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
I wasn't divorced.
Movie theaters need to we need to save them because I my soul will be crushed if movie theaters go away. Like I think streaming is really cool, but there is nothing like going to a movie theater. It's
Laughing with people, being scared. I think that's
yes.
why Sinners works too. Like seeing to like get out in the theater, it just does not compare to seeing it.
Right.
Like, I wish I saw opening weekend for Get Out. I did not, but even seeing it with like 10 other people was still like, and my husband going, "What the fuck? What
Yeah.
no."
Well, and like I saw now, I mean, you got to think about this at the time when it came out. Don't compare it to now, but like I saw Independence Day in the theater opening weekend, like on July 3rd. And, you know, everybody at the end is like cheering and screaming and clapping. And it's like, yeah, it's kind of cheesy, but also it's such a collective experience that it doesn't feel cheesy in the moment. Like, you're just like, fuck yeah. Like, you know.
That's what makes movies last long is the communal experience, I think of them.
Yes.
Like a streamer, like yeah, sometimes we can all be watching it that weekend and on Twitter or Instagram you're kind of
Not the
talking about it, but
same.
that's not the same as like being in the theater. Somebody mentioned they should have like once the movie airs they should have a little like seating section where you can go discuss it with people.
Huh. That's kind of a cool idea. Yeah. Like
I
a
like
section.
that idea.
I'm
Like,
gonna recommend that to Alamo Draft House actually, because they have a bar like that. That could be a cool idea.
you
And
know,
they do
or
all kinds of
do
cool shit.
something just to make people excited about movies that aren't just on Amazon Prime release. Because, I mean, and those aren't always great. G20.
Well, and that's the thing is that like now, I mean, it's again so much easier to go to the movies. You can do everything online. You can pick your seat. They serve food and booze now. Like that was always the one thing missing in my adult years was booze. I mean, you can get it now. And it's like it's so easy to go. Why wouldn't you? And then you have theaters like Alamo Draft House, but I know other people do it too, where they show old movies, where they do theme months, where they do movie parties, they do music video sing-alongs, they do quote-alongs. Like they offer all this fun shit that you can go do. And maybe it's for cool for us because like I've seen so many movies at Alamo that I never got to see as a kid because we did not go to the movies. That was just going to the movies was like a unicorn treat when I was a kid, like until I was old enough to, go on my own. We just didn't do it. And so I don't know.
Our theater was the babysitter. My mom would drop us off and be like, all right, you got enough money. Make sure you get at least a dime or a quarter, whatever it was. Call me when it's done because we had a payphone out in front. And we were like,
Ours
yeah.
was the mall.
It's still standing. Surprise! During COVID, I did donate to keep our little Fox Cineplex alive in Banning, California. But they did build like a fancier theater a town over. But I mean, the Fox Cineplex for us just holds so many memories. I think you could still call the same phone number and the same guy is doing the movie times.
Nice.
And on Wednesdays, everybody in our town knows it's Family Fun Day. Buy a large popcorn, get a large drink free, and it is $2.50 for me.
Nice.
They probably went up.
I mean,
I think it's
you had to have a newspaper or call or drive by to know when you could go see a movie. Like,
or when you call and it's like at the end of it, so you're like, listen to the whole thing.
listen to the whole thing again.
I don't care when Mortal Kombat's on. I already seen that.
So this is your PSA from an evening at the movies. Please keep your local movie theaters alive. Please support them. Please go watch movies in the theater.
even if it's an AMC, whatever you got, just
Yeah.
go to the movies.
Otherwise, you get
And
stuck
Minecraft was
screaming
really
Halloween ends at home with Amanda.
Was that the last one?
Yeah.
I did see that in theaters. And that's not even a thing I love, but I want to go to the movies. Love movies.
And see, I didn't even see it in the theater because I watched it when it came straight to
Oh,
streaming.
no. Did I see it? No, I think I streamed it. I don't remember. I did see it though. But yeah. Or like Barbie, like those big experiences where it's like
Yes.
dressed up. Oh,
Yes.
you give me a theme. Yes.
Oh yeah.
I wish every movie, every concert. Thank you, Beyonce and Taylor Swift, for introducing that. That's why Backstreet Boys are doing it.
Yes, I love that idea. The all white.
Females always doing it up, always leading the path.
Yep.
Creativity. But yes, so exciting. And it even made me go see Oppenheimer because I was like, well, it's Barbieheimer. I have to see the other one. I have to compare them. And that movie is really good. But
Yeah.
go to the
Yeah.
movie.
Barbie in the theater was amazing.
It's visually just
Yeah. Well, all right then. That was fun.
go to the movies.
Go to the movies.
Get a nap.
Let's go to the movies. Let's go to the. Y'all remember that song with the dancing sodas
Yup.
and the popcorn?
I don't know.
Let's all go to the movies. That's what it was. I knew I was leaving a word out. Anyway,
That was probably before Kendra's time, though.
probably. Yeah.
Mhm. I don't remember it at our
So.
theater.
We can't end the episode, though, without thanking the audience for being here each and every week. You guys are incredibly amazing, and we appreciate each and every one of you for being here each and every week. Kendra, would you like to remind the audience what all you have going on?
Yes, Crushgasm at crushgasmpodcast.com. And then Kendra Writes Stuff. You can it's where I write a lot of things. Find the links to them. But right now I'm mostly just writing for Yard Barker and then this new food site that hopefully will be okay. But it's like a lot stricter. It's under a big media company. So there's a lot more rules to this. I just can't ramble on about like Daniel Radcliffe and this. I have to like have facts and check them and source, and it's a lot more work. But
Daniel Radcliffe's delicious asshole. Still one of my favorite Cards of Humanity cards ever.
oh my god. I love that game.
That's the original Cards Against Humanity. If you have it, there is a card, Daniel Radcliffe's delicious asshole.
Look. How to look at mine.
Anyway.
Oh dear Lord. Yeah. Let's see. Coming up on an evening at the movies, we have, if we can get everything situated and planned out, Shannon will be back with us next week for our monthly audio only redo, and we will be talking about The Princess Bride. And then Amanda and I are probably going to take a couple of weeks off in May, and then come back with some birthday episode stuff and a 30th anniversary tribute to a certain TV show that both she and I love, who 30 years ago wrapped up their first season. So we'll be discussing that in May as well.
And true to your like
That
top
would be the one
that the Friends cast have all been in their roles outside of Friends.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think Jennifer Aniston's got to be horrible bosses.
I love We're the Millers though.
Me too. Yeah.
Oh, it's too.
Jason Sudeikis is so hot.
The breakup's really good too.
It was. Yeah, it was just so sad.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's not how movies should end. I don't like
Right?
that. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It's breaking something in me.
So this was a lot of fun. Thank you, Kendra, for recommending the movie and requesting it. I'm glad I got to watch it. We can't end the episode though without definitely 100% wishing Kendra a happy birthday.
Thank you.
Say it's your birthday. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Gonna have a good time.
38.
Ooh.
And my first couple gray hairs, this one, yeah. I named them Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen. I wanted to have gray hair since I was
gray
a
hairs.
child.
I don't want to hear it.
I love gray hair. It's so pretty.
Good luck.
All
All right.
So
Oh.
we will be back next week. Knock on wood. That we can get Shanna here for that episode. But yeah. And then coming up in June, we will be tackling classic Hollywood stuff the entire month. So we will update you when we get closer to June as to what's coming up then. So there is 3 polls going on the Facebook group, though. So if you're a part of the Facebook group, go vote. You still have like 3 hours to go until the polls close. And there is some hotly contested races, one of which is Robin Hood is way out in front on classic Disney animated.
As it should be.
But
the best one in that
again,
era.
go vote. Go vote.
All right.
Make your voices heard. And co-host, take us home.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Happy birthday to Kendra. And we hope you all come back for an evening at the movies. Goodbye. And here's my ball gown.
Ooh. Very nice.
Oh, Jesus God. I'm not going to lie. You stood up and I seriously thought you were pulling the dress over your head.
No, you got to pay for that action.
Yeah.
I'll start a Patreon.